Top crypto to buy in 2024 for the highest 2025 returns. Keep in mind, I'm going to have about 20 to 25 crypto on this list. I do not know. I'm just going to go down my watch list. I'm going to give you guys some cryptos that I think are great that I'm holding, and also cryptos that I also think are good that I'm not holding. The key with this video is definitely not for you to click off and buy 25 or 20 crypto. That's, first of all, a lot of crypto. Secondly, if you don't have a lot of capital, especially during this year, it makes no sense to buy everything. The reason why I'm giving you guys so many crypto in this video is so you have a foundation of what to look for, and you can pick maybe none of these, one of these, two of these, five of these, maybe 10 of these, whatever you decide to do. By the way, guys, before we begin, if you want to reach out to me, talk to me, see when I buy cryptos like this, desay the cryptos like this, sell cryptos like this, be part of private live streams and also conference calls every single week, Q&As, be able to be part of a like-minded support group of investors who want to change their life, which over 20 have made 6 to 7 figures already. I'm running a 7-day free trial. It is expiring on Friday of this week. Once that's done, it is done for a long time. The last time I opened it, I believe, was like 4 months ago. The Bitcoin halving took place. My group is growing. I don't want to have so many members in there. I'm just doing this as my gift to you. 7 days free trial. No questions asked. If you don't like it, you can just cancel. And if you like it, I'm willing to bet the majority of you will stay once you come in. Because the last time I opened this, we had a lot of people stay. I think you're going to get a lot of value, especially during this time where it really matters who you surround yourself around. Okay, when you're around people who think like you, who are trying to achieve similar goals like you naturally elevate yourself and elevate your game to get to that point where you can become financially free and accomplish your goals. So if you're interested, I'll put a link in the pinned comments down below. And I'll try to be unbiased as well to have some crypto that I'm not holding. Okay, because some of you are like asking me questions like, what are some crypto that you're not holding that you would think are good? So we'll cover that. It's going to be a mix of low caps, mid caps, large caps, so on and so forth. So let's kick it off. And as usual, this is based on catalysts in the future, what I think is going to happen as a visionary, utility, well, some meme coins too, probably, sure. Pretty much where I see the prices now, market caps, and where I can see them going in the future. So let's kick it off. Number one is going to be Art Block ABT. It's $2.26, 225 million market cap. These are just circulating market caps. It's in the Web3 space, DID, decentralized identity. They're integrated with AI. It's going to scale dApps, build dApps. It's also a mainnet layer 1 with no gas fees. It's a scarce supply, 186 million coin cap. Robert Mao is marketing this quarter, which is why you see the price the way it is. It's pretty much, the 1 year chart is like the penthouse. It's doing very good. However, with the supply they have, which is very scarce, the utility they have, which is very massive, and the ecosystem, which is expanding, not to mention developers have to hold the token to actually utilize this ecosystem, essentially building the Web3 space. That is very bullish. You're going to see a supply shock yet again. I say yet again because Coinbase initially had to buy some more. The last time this surged to $2, Coinbase had to handle the volume by buying some more ABT. So now when you think of this on a grand scale, surge in price action, expanding ecosystem, integrated with AI, integrated with Web3, scaling layer 1s, also a mainnet layer 1 itself, also in the DID space, decentralized identity, which is the future. Very hard to not be bullish on Art Block ABT, which is why I think it deserves a spotlight on this list. This is in no particular order, by the way. And in terms of where I see Art Block going this cycle, it's anywhere from $50 to $80, which is a 5 to 8 billion market cap. Keep in mind, for the rest of this video, price predictions are literally just educated guesses. Could be right, could be wrong. It's just what I believe. Number two is going to be LCX. LCX is an exchange crypto that's at 30 cents, 230 million market cap, 950 million coin cap. This is your DeFi, RWA, tokenization asset, DeFi bank type crypto. Very bullish. Monty himself's very well connected. They already tokenized diamonds. They want to tokenize bonds. They're working with banks, private blockchains, public blockchains. Monty wrote the book on blockchain banking and also tokenization of assets. I think they're working with BlackRock. It's not confirmed, it's just my opinion, but when I think of the future, I think of centralized exchanges growing, which this one is. It's catering to institutional investors who have what? Money. And the fact that they tokenize diamonds already and are doing very well in that respect, I can only see bonds and future assets and securities taking off and bringing more exposure, not to mention FTX going down, CZ stepping down from Binance, and now KuCoin in hot water. I wouldn't be surprised if LCX eats some market share and burns through many dollars this cycle. And in terms of where I see LCX going this bull cycle, I see it going anywhere from $3 to $5 minimum. But actually, I see it going to $10 plus if things really kick off. LCX is very undervalued. Just getting to $20 would be Crypto.com's market cap last cycle. Actually, I think it's more than $20. So it has a lot of room for growth, a lot of potential. Number 3, Caspa, which is at 13 cents. This one's getting a lot of hate because it hasn't moved in a few months. And they announced KRC20, which is going to be their smart contracts, products being built on Caspa. A lot of people are still waiting for this tier 1 listing. You got that catalyst of the war overseas, which could end up being a black swan event. It did tank it initially, but I feel like people now kind of bait that price in there. It's at 13 cents, 3 billion market cap. Regardless of tier 1 listings, Caspa still is the fundamentally best project out there aside from Bitcoin, in my opinion. It's also very safe. It's a fair launch, no VCs behind it, no one to dump it. Although from time to time it makes higher highs and then it dips and forms lower highs at times. Caspa still is very safe. It's very safe, but also with a mid cap. So it's going to outpace your Solanas, your Cardanos, your Ethereums, your Bitcoins. So Caspa is still a very safe play, but can also still net some pretty good price action as well. And in terms of where I see its price this bull cycle, as a layer 1 fair launch proof of work coin that has Janssen behind it, with a 28.7 billion coin cap, less than 20% inflation, less than 10% inflation next year. I see Caspa at bare minimum being $1. And if it really gets on all these tier 1s this cycle, which I don't see happening this cycle for all of them, but I do see at least 1 or 2, I would say it could reach upwards of $3 in the most bullish case. And Caspa is definitely a sleeper in this market. Number 4, Penguin PNG, which is a DEX catering to Avalanche, also catering to Hedera, Songbird, Flare, and Evmos. A lot of ecosystems. Avalanche in specific is very good, as well as Hedera. Even though I no longer hold Hedera, I still think having exposure to the ecosystem is great. And in this case, Penguin PNG, it's a 230 million coin cap, very scarce. Their top wallet is their liquidity pool. It's got 94% circulating, pretty much non-existent inflation. They got a new revamped user interface, which looks pretty damn cool. And I think with Avalanche, Hedera, and all these ecosystems within PNG who they're catering to, multi-chain DEX, like I said, as they grow, we're going to see more exposure because investors are going to naturally want to use a DEX to buy these tokens that are either new and or not yet on a centralized exchange like Coinbase and Binance. So PNG, very bullish, and to get to a 1 billion market cap, by the way, is a $5 price tag. I said it in previous videos. It could get up to $40 if you really have a blow off top and it gets close to Uniswap's 7 billion market cap range. But if I'm being a little more realistic, I would say anywhere from $20 to $30. Next up, we got GFI, Goldfinch Protocol, a DeFi lending protocol that is backed by Coinbase. It's currently a $3.76 price tag. The circulating supply is off on CoinMarketCap and Coinbase. It's actually 70% diluted. So the market cap is roughly around 300 million right now circulating. It is backed by Coinbase. It's a DeFi protocol, also in the RWA space. I am very bullish on DeFi. And with Coinbase behind this, I think GFI is going to absolutely rocket ship in this space. It's only got 114 million supply. This thing can become 3 figures easily. And Goldfinch has BlackRock working with them. BlackRock is what? One of the biggest companies ever, okay? So BlackRock is not picking cryptos at random. Their managing director of 25 plus years, I forget his name, is the lead advisor for Goldfinch Protocol. A lot of people flooded this one in the past month because they defaulted on a loan. with one of their clients, which naturally it happens, right? You have some bad apples, some good apples. I took advantage of that and I actually DCA'd, I forget how long ago, but I did buy some recently on that dip. And right now, looking at it again from the outside looking in, $3.76. It was how long ago? It was above $6 not too long ago. I would not be surprised if this thing runs again. And in terms of where I see it this bull cycle, I see it getting anywhere from $50 to $100. Next up, we got Forda, priced at 28 cents. This is a Web3 crypto that I like to call the police crypto. I actually made a video on it recently for those who saw with that funny intro. It's in Web3. It helps businesses scale without these malicious hackers, bad actors. It tracks the on-chain activity. It's similar to Chainlink and Parsec, where it can track down these bad actors. And it actually has on the website advertised by numerous experiences of saving companies with over $200 million, like to date, and sometimes about 20 minutes before it happens. It is a very useful company. I see mass adoption taking place because these companies who are going to have clients are not going to risk their business on hackers. So I think Forda, which is also backed by Coinbase and 15 VCs, and I only see the number growing because it's that good. First bull cycle, it's a 110 million circulating market cap. Full dilution, I believe, is around maybe 300 million, so you're still super early. It's a crypto I recently been buying into, and I actually have a pretty big bag of it, and I think Forda is going to do very well. And in terms of where I see it going this bull cycle, I see it going anywhere from $2 to $5. This crypto's market cap should be at least a 5 billion market cap. But we'll see in due time. I think the VCs are going to pump the crap out of this because they're going to want to market it, make their money. And with Coinbase behind it, with solid utility, and a relatively scarce supply of 1 billion, I really do see Forda ripping it in the near future. Next up, we got Math. And yes, I got tired of the hat. It's priced at 47 cents, a Web3 play. It's a 54 million market cap, circulating. It has a 200 million coin cap. Very scarce. They have their own Web3 wallet, a lot of products. They got, relatively 40% or so inflation. This is a crypto that could take off very quick, and actually has done that in the past month. It went from 20 cents to 86 cents, and then it's cooled off. And now with this discount, with the low cap, and where I see it going in the future, Web3 is coming, guys. Web3, DeFi, having their own wallets. Twitter literally just announced they're going to be that all-in-one platform where you can actually take payments on there. So I just see Web3 growing, and with Web3 growing, DeFi growing, again, this is another token that I think is going to do very well based on where I see the future heading. And right now, it's a scarce asset with a low market cap and a pretty cheap price tag to boot. $5 is a 1 billion market cap, which is pretty much like PNG, right? Which is very doable for this play. I see it getting to anywhere from $5 to $10 as a conservative investor, which 1 to 2 billion market cap for a crypto like this, that is nothing. That is an easy 10-20x from here, and I think it's very doable for this run. Next up, we got Aerodrome Finance, or Aero, priced at $1.66, 676 million market cap circulating. It's got a 410 million circulating supply. It is inflationary, okay, which is not a deal breaker. You gotta look at how high the inflation is, right? The inflation is pretty minimal when you compare it to cryptos like Polkadot, which is like 15% inflation, atrocious. The supply is still around 1 billion, which is not that bad, still relatively scarce. Its basis, which is a layer 2 for Ethereum's main DEX. It's got a lot of TVL, over 1 billion. They got meme coins now on Base. Base just keeps growing. And Aerodrome being the main DEX for Base, where are investors going to buy these tokens? On Aerodrome. It's also backed by Coinbase. So another highly connected crypto that I think is going to do very well. And Aerodrome is another DEX. And like I said, DEXs to me, although I don't use them personally, I do see people using them to a higher extent in the future. I just think with the decentralized finance nature of where we're heading, and with people always wanting to buy these meme coins that aren't on centralized exchanges like Coinbase or these brand new crypto, they're going to look to use a DEX. Some will still use centralized exchanges to try to find them, but new crypto always go to DEXs first. And in this case, Aerodrome Finance is a new DEX First bull cycle, highly connected, and its basis main DEX. I see no reason why this one will continue to rocket ship this cycle. A lot of people say this one might go to $100 a cycle, a little too moonish for me. I see Aerodrome Finance getting to $15 to $30 minimum, but I would not be surprised if it hits $30 to $40 this cycle as well. Aerodrome Finance is a very good play. We got in very early, and although many people right now think the gains were already made, that is a big misconception. Basis TVL just keeps growing. Aerodrome's going to have a nice run coming again soon. And I think at this price below $2, definitely a good entry to start DCAing or establishing a position. Next up, we got Aerodrome Finance's brother, sister, whatever you want to call it. I do not hold this one, but it's called Velo. I know, shout out to David from Archetype. He likes Velo. This is a good play. This is Optimism's main DEX. So Aerodrome Finance is a forked version of Velo. So they're very similar, pretty much the same code. Optimism, like base, this is the first bull cycle for it. Although Velo doesn't have anywhere near as a TVL as Aerodrome Finance, it is catching up a little bit. It's priced at 20 cents, 126 million market cap circulating, and it has 41% or 631 million in supply. The difference with Velodrome versus Aero is that Velo has a fixed supply. It is not inflationary. And in this case, it's around 1.5 billion. So relatively scarce, not too large, especially compared to like Cardano, which is 45 billion, or XRP, which is 100 billion. It's definitely not the most scarcest, but at least we know it's fixed. This came out in the bear market of 2022. So this is a crypto that's having a first bull cycle. It's a DEX for a layer 2. It just came out. And let's be honest here, Ethereum is not going anywhere. And Optimism itself continues to grow and scale Ethereum. What are investors going to do? They're going to use a DEX like Velodrome Finance, just like Aero. And I think at this price, 20 cents, I wouldn't be surprised if Velo reaches around $3 to $5 this cycle easily. Again, it's a main DEX for Optimism. And I think DEXs will continue to grow and get more users as time goes on. Next up, we have a game finance play called BlueZell, BLZ. Now, if that sounds familiar, I dropped the ball on this one. I bought it at 5 cents not too long ago. I swing traded for a 3x, and right now it is 38 cents. However, you're still early, and I might actually consider establishing a position in this soon if it hangs around this price. It's 161 million market cap, 500 million coin cap, 428 circulating. They are a game finance play, which essentially is like a decentralized storage network, which is for NFTs. They also became a layer 1 as well. So they are very versatile. It's one that is older and people butted on years ago. I remember I was holding it at the bottom price and people kept saying it was dead. But gaming to me is going to be bullish again. Although I'm not very bullish on the majority of gaming plays, and most people who follow me know that. Gaming is still going to be hot, some plays, and I think game finance is going to be hot as well because it's going to be part of the NFT trading market, gaming market, and people are going to look for plays to store their NFTs. And BlueZell recently becoming a mainnet layer 1 themselves, which is also over 10,000 TPS, that just adds firewood to the fire. And I think BlueZell is just going to be rocket shipping this cycle. I mean, it's already at 38 cents. The 1 year chart is hard to look at, 400% up, which if I was holding this, I'd be up all kinds of gains. But apparently I did not know that at the time, and I was being greedy. Like I always tell you guys, stop swing trading your crypto and chasing pick. Okay, I even tell my Discord that. Stop always chasing picks. You're going to make a mistake like I did with this. But again, it's still way below 1 billion market cap. It still has a lot of room for growth. We're still early into it, which is why I decided to include it on this list. And in terms of where I see it this cycle, I see it getting upwards of $8 to $10 this cycle, which is a very good gain from here. And I think over time, we're going to see BlueZell continue to appreciate, especially as this inflation continues to get reduced. Next up, since we're on the topic for gaming, is our recent gaming play, our only gaming play, Aavegotchi, or Ghost. It's a hell of a name, I know. It's priced at $2, $1.97. It's a 52.7 billion supply with full dilution. Very rare for a gaming crypto. It's integrated with Base. They have a layer 3 rollup that's going to scale it. It's in gaming, NFTs, and DeFi. Again, very bullish narratives and niches. Very trendy, and we're very hot last cycle. It's very rare to find a game and play that's only 104 million market cap, but 104 million full dilution as well. So you're talking about a play where it's at $2 now. A 1 billion market cap is $20 friggin' dollars. Insane. And we pulled up on previous videos market cap of Aavegotchi Ghost, where it can go if it reaches the likes of Axie Infinity, Sandbox, Mana, Gala. They were all 3-figure price tags for Aavegotchi. Now I'm not saying it's going to be a 50x from here, but it's definitely possible. I think $20 is going to be blown through like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if it reaches $50 or more this bull cycle. Very bullish. We got in not too much cheaper than this price actually. And now that I'm looking at it and seeing this dip, it might be a good time to get into this again in DCA. So yeah, definitely one of my more bullish gaming plays. Like I said, tokenomics are great. The inflation is non-existent in a nice niche, and I think it's going to scale pretty damn hard, especially with this supply shock that will kick in for 52.7 million. Unbelievable. Moving on, next up we have Render, which is an AI crypto recently migrated to the Solana chain, which was the exception to migrations for me, just like Ethereum, which migrated to proof of stake. It's a very bullish crypto, probably one of the best AI cryptos, not just in performance, but in terms of where it's going. I think that migration to Solana for what they want to do is very bullish. AI is a sector that I will admit, it's not my most bullish, but it is where Web3 is heading. That's why you're seeing a lot of Web3 plays and companies integrate, at the very least, some version of AI, whether it's their copywriting, their products, some type of scaling solutions. AI is already here. It's not like iRobot yet, like you see in the movies with Will Smith, but it's here. It's trendy. It was hot. I think it will be hot. So it probably makes sense, and although I'm not holding this pick, to be looking at AI. And I'm not saying I won't get this. It's a large cap. I'm already pretty hedged. But if I was looking at another AI crypto, I would consider Render. It's a 3.5 billion market cap, $9. They have 384.85 million in circulation, which is 72%. I think their total supply is around 500 million. So they don't have much inflation, not a ton of selling pressure, and you know, a 3.5 billion market cap, you're talking roughly what, 5 billion full dilution. This thing can easily 10x, and a 10x from here would be $90, 50 billion market cap. It's pretty large, yes, but AI could be a very big sector, guys. And Render, you know, it's getting traction. Many artists are going to want to use Render for their images and videos. I just see AI, this one specifically, blending in with Web3, and I see it really taking off. And if it really blows off top, I wouldn't be surprised if it someday becomes a 3-figure coin, which would be crazy. A 10x on Render, even at this price, would be a crazy gain and definitely doable, in my opinion. Next up, we got Cryptech Finance, or CTX, priced at $5. This is a microcap, high risk, high reward. 32 million. It's a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. Again, they're in DeFi, RWA, which in my opinion is the future. No coincidence here. Their founder, Joseph Stico, recently announced a collaboration partnership with Chainlink, which is going to be the main oracle to help their TCAP token, which is how they track the total market cap. That's what it means. Total cap is TCAP, total market cap. It's not a secondary token they're selling like CTX. It's just a token that institutional clients can use to track the total market cap, which in this case would be for things like ETFs, which are exchange trade funds, which are going to be long-term plays for clients, which is going to be the future for mass adoption. You're going to see a lot of people start using DeFi plays, ETFs, to be putting it into their retirement portfolios, their 401ks. So if you don't believe it's coming, I would take a second look. DeFi is paving the way for the future. You're going to see crypto everywhere. And with a crypto like this, their token, by the way, CTX, is used for governance. So it's open source code, which means that it's available to the public. And with governance, with how much you're holding, you can essentially vote and make decisions on where the process or where the direction of the company goes, rather, which to me just decentralizes the entire network and makes it more bullish for retail to have a say. So CTX, it's one of those scarce supplies, 10 million total supply. It's one of my most scarce assets, actually, probably my most scarcest one. It's similar to Quant. It actually reminds me of Quant in the tokenomics aspect. First bull cycle to be on Coinbase, it was on Gemini last cycle. It reached $45 last bull cycle. I would not be surprised if it reaches a 1 billion market cap, which, by the way, is $100 or a 20x from here. And I'm going to say $50 to around $200 this cycle for CTX. It could really rocket ship. Right now, the biggest knock I see people making, the biggest mistake, is seeing $5 and saying this is too expensive and not scrolling down and seeing the market cap is only 40 million. 40 million market cap is how early you are to this crypto. $5, I know it sounds expensive, but if you go by market cap, you are crazy mega early into this crypto. And in terms of where it can go way up, which it can go down as well. Again, the supply. But if you have the risk tolerance, the emotional strength, and you want to find a play that's, in my opinion, a diamond in the rough, I think Cryptex Finance should be on your watch list for sure. Next up, I'm going to throw in a crypto I'm also not holding, but bullish on. It's a hedge, Solana. Solana is a good crypto. If you're looking to diversify a little bit, it's the fastest scalable blockchain out there. They have so much TVL. They have so many developers building. They use Rust, which is becoming a more popular programming language by the day. Okay, you have cryptos like Ethereum that use Solidity, which is popular, but Rust, which is what Caspa's using, by the way, or will use, developers love it. It's very easy to code. People were using Solana a lot last cycle for NFTs and transactions. It's extremely cheap, very scalable. Do they have issues with security? Yes, of course. It is centralized. They don't have as many nodes. They can't handle so much volume. And they went down a few times, and people called it like a crappy crypto because you have to press a giant reset button, turn it back on, so on and so forth. But obviously, that has not hurt the price in the long term, although it caused some short-term price action. I dropped the ball on this one. Don't want to rehash that story. It is what it is. But yeah, this is a crypto that's a 71 billion market cap. It is inflationary. There is no cap supply, but it's not that high. Again, it's not 10% inflation per year. It's still under a 500 million coin cap, give or take. It probably has a little bit more than 500. But yeah, this is a crypto where if you're looking at Bitcoin, which is over a 1.3 trillion market cap right now, or Ethereum, which is almost a 400 billion market cap, Solana at a 71 billion market cap could give you that same safety-ish, maybe not as Bitcoin, but it's going to outpace both of them. So if you want a safer hedge that can still give you some pretty good gains, I think Solana is worth looking into. And in terms of where it can go this cycle, I think anywhere from $700 to $1,000 is possible. I think minimum 500, but I wouldn't be surprised if Solana becomes 4 figures this cycle, which would be an insane gain this cycle. But Solana is just that good, which is pretty crazy to say. Very bullish, probably one of my more moon boyish predictions, but Solana just keeps growing by the day, and I think it's a great hedge to be looking at for 2024. Next up, we got Quant QNT, which I know seems boring because it hasn't moved in quite some time. But Quant, to me, I still think is a sleeping giant that will eventually take off. It got a lot of FUD recently. It's $109, 1.3 billion market cap. Full dilution is like 1.5 billion. It went to $428 last cycle. I think Quant's going to minimum a 10x from here. $1,000. I know that's very bullish. I know people lost a lot of faith in Quant's QNT, but their overledger network, which is very big, and being able to merge and connect DLTs, I just can't see a future where that's not needed. And Quant, to me, with the enterprise draw to it and also scarce supply of less than 15 million, I really do believe it's going to have its day. It already had a big run in the bear market, if you remember, back in 2022. A lot of people look at that and look at it now and say, oh, it's done, it's gone. But I naturally like buying suppressed, discarded, beat up crypto. Art Block was no different. LCX is no different. Even Aerodrome was flooded. Even friggin' PNG, GFI. A lot of my picks get flooded early on, right? Nobody likes buying the suppressed, discarded crypto. They all buy when they start doing this. So Quant, if it hangs around $100, depending when you're seeing this video, I think this is a great entry to be getting into. If it goes below 100, even better. The team's very good. I like Gilbert Verdian, a good business model, over 70% allocation to the public, not much selling pressure, a great company with good connections, especially with the Bank of England recently. I would not be surprised if Quant rocket ships in the near future. Next up, we got Suku. It's at 18 cents. It's a Web3 DeFi crypto. They had their own wallet. They recently announced on Twitter they have what's called Suku Pay. They're collabing with Polygon, a layer 2 that is bullish. I'm not holding it because I don't like the whole migration they're doing over the span of 3 years to, I think it's POL will be the ticker symbol, but Polygon nonetheless, it's not going anywhere anytime soon, at least for this cycle. It is still Ethereum's top dog for layer 2s. And Suku now having their partnership, which is going to be reduced fees and scalability, and their own wallets, Web3, especially with social media growing, I see no reason why this won't blow up. What's causing a lot of people to stay away right now from Suku is the uncertainty with the top wallet, which I understand, definitely a concern, totally get it. And also it's a centralized marketplace. Even though it's a 32.5 million circulating market cap right now, full supply is over 8 billion. So they have like less than 20% circulating. So that in combination with the top wallet holding a good percentage of supply scares off many investors. But if you had the risk tolerance, if you believe in Web3, if you also like the news of Suku Pay, a worldwide cross-border payment solution that people can just, integrate a wallet into their social media or really anywhere, and people can send crypto, back and forth. To me, that is no small feat. To me, that's the future, and I wouldn't be surprised if Suku gets a lot of adoption because of that. And with adoption comes exposure, comes a spotlight, causes FOMO, causes price action to soar. And Suku, this is one of the hardest cryptos to call from a price prediction standpoint because it's going to matter on how much they dilute. I couldn't find any information on their vesting schedule. So I would take this price prediction, especially with a grain of salt. I think it's going to be around $2 to $5 this cycle. It all depends on the circulating supply. If it stays around 200 million circulating, $2 to $5 is very doable. In fact, it can go even higher than that. If the rest of supply is dumped, which I don't think will happen, but could happen. If the whole supply is dumped, I still think it can hit $2 to $3 this cycle. It's not a very large supply. It's good utility. It's big utility. And they're making moves in the right partnerships, which I do believe will send Suku over the edge. Right now, there's very few people talking about it, who know about it, who are even holding it. Very few holders. So 18 cents, this is a very early entry. I actually got into this around 14 cents. And now that I see it around my price point, I probably will DCA in the near future. And I think in terms of 2024, this one could be a sleeping giant that nobody even heard of that just takes off right before their eyes. Next up, we got Potential Tau, which is a higher price tag, a large cap, a hedge in my portfolio. It's around $500, 3.5 billion market cap. The full dilution, I believe, is around 10 billion market cap. They have Bitcoin's tokenomics, meaning 21 million supply. It's a fair launch play. Now, it's not proof of work, but it is very similar to how it's emitted into their vesting schedule. Potential Tau, alongside Render, is one of the best AI cryptos in my opinion. Very little selling pressure. It's actually down a decent amount from when I bought it at around $600 first entry. Definitely a good time to be looking at it. In fact, you can get a better entry than I did at this price. I see Potential Tau, especially in a trendy, hot AI niche. Very similar sounding to Bitcoin in the AI format. I see Potential Tau reaching 5K this cycle, which would be a 10x from here and would be a pretty large market cap. But again, the circulating supply is going to remain low. because they're following Bitcoin's emission schedule, which right now 32%. So next year they're not going to have 100% in circulation. So with a 6.6 million current circulating supply, this 3.4 billion market cap, a 10x from here is going to be 35-40 billion. So if they add a little bit more, which is say 40%, it'll be roughly a 50 billion market cap, give or take, at a 5K price tag. Very, very doable for potential Tau, and I think it should definitely be on your watch list for this year. Next up, we got Shapeshift Fox, which is below 9 cents right now. It's a 34 million market cap. They have a 1 billion supply, a little less than 40% circulating. I did have a couple question mark concerns with them. I mentioned in my last video. I thought they were going to reach out and tell me like, hey, we want to pay you to cover our crypto, but instead they messaged me saying, hey, just give us some feedback on the app, the exchange, which I respected. I don't know if they just saw my video and decided to pivot, whatever. Regardless, I was going to see what they said to me before I made a move on it, but they are a DAO. Eric Voorhees, which is the founder, he recently liquidated the balance sheet last cycle, which is why the chart looks as bad as it was when you click the alt chart. They became a DAO. They essentially decentralized the network. They have their own app, and they claim that it's self-custody storage, which again is the future, right? Because people, the whole draw to Bitcoin in the first place is to be your own bank, your cyber bank, have control of your funds in a non-inflatable, non-manipulative manner. No one can take it unless you give away your keys, which if you do that, you might as well just give your keys to your house and your keys to your car as well. Eric Voorhees is a very respected and highly connected guy in this space. And I think Shapeshift Fox, which has a pretty good community around it, by the way. I noticed that right away when I first started researching it and bought the crypto. It's a very strong, tight-knit community. They're not like a cult like some of your other cryptos, hint, XRP, but they do have a very strong community. And, with the 1 billion supply, it's very possible for Fox to hit $1 at the ultra-conservative price prediction. And I wouldn't be surprised if it hits $2 or $3 this cycle, which that'll be over a 20-30x from here. Again, I think DAOs are very bullish. I think DeFi is very bullish. And I think self-custody, especially for crypto, in the future, also used to a high extent. And when you think of that market, the exposure, how early you are into this, and with good connections, I wouldn't be surprised if Shapeshift Fox rocket ships as well in the near future. Next up, we have Say, another large cap hedge VC-backed layer 1 crypto who brands themselves as being a faster Solana. The founders are former Robinhood software engineer Jay Jog and also Goldman Sachs investment banker Jeff Fang. Two very well-known guys in this space that I think is very bullish for this company. Jay Jog was there for the whole GameStop fiasco with Robinhood, and he said he wanted to create a layer 1 that can help scale DEXs, amongst other things. And Jeff Fang, being a part of Goldman Sachs, which is one of the top investment banking firms, that's also very bullish, a lot of connections, and he probably has a lot of experience in this niche. And Say right now, it cooled off a lot, which is why I think, especially at this price, is definitely a good time to DCA. It's at 64 cents. It went to $1.15 and scaled back to the 46-cent range. A pretty big dip. And yes, they have an unlock coming in August of this year, but I think at this price, 64 cents, you're very early, and they're not going to dump the whole thing this year, guys. They may take some profits initially, but a lot of these VCs and private investors and the team, they know the bigger money this cycle is going to be in 2025. Now, obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. You don't have a crystal ball, and they don't have a crystal ball. We're going to see some selling pressure. Obviously, the centralized marketplace does scare off some investors, but we've seen with cryptos like Solana, VC-backed fresh new crypto, which this one's fresh, just came out, first bull cycle, you can see in the chart. We've seen them go like crazy to the upside. Solana, I believe, went to an 80 billion market cap last cycle, or around there, or maybe 100 billion. Say with a 10 billion coin cap, if it gets there, depending on how much dilution, it's going to be $20, $30. It all depends on how much they dilute and sell. But after seeing Solana rocket ship last cycle from like the low dollars to 260, I am definitely not going to miss out this time on Say. Say is a very connected who you know crypto. A lot of money's behind this. I actually shared that in one of my recent Say videos a while back. And I think on this dip, especially for this year, I think Say is a great opportunity to be looking at. Next up, which I think we're at number 20, which after this I'll get into some, riskier low cap meme coin plays. Next up is Avalanche, which as you can tell, I love layer ones, right? Layer ones to me are the most bullish crypto from a risk to reward standpoint. Avalanche is a great crypto that if you feel like you missed out on Ethereum, you missed out on, say, Solana, you missed out on, those other layer ones that took off already, Avalanche is only $39 to start this video, a 15 billion market cap. Fully diluted market cap is 30 billion, which is less than half of Solana. So it still gives you that safety from a layer one standpoint with higher expected gains from Solana, from Bitcoin, from Ethereum. Also, Avalanche gives you exposure to gaming. So if you're like me, where you feel like gaming is too risky for you, too volatile for you, but you want to have exposure, Avalanche is definitely one to be looking into. Avalanche is trying to be the go-to layer one for gaming, and they already have made moves to pave the way for that to take place. So Avalanche, to me, I think it's going to have an amazing bull cycle. Last bull cycle, it went to around $147, I believe. It's going to break three figures again, even with the bad inflation of 47% and the relatively large supply of over 700 million, I believe, around there. I think Avalanche is going to crush it this bull cycle. It's a very fast chain. They have three chains, the P chain, C chain, X chain. It's very well respected. They have a lot of projects being built on it, which one of their meme coins is going to be on this list. And I think in the future, as it continues to expand and grow, it's going to outpace cryptos like your Solanas, like your Ethereum, especially because it's in a nice, hot, trendy niche as a layer one, but specifically trying to be the go-to one for gaming, and it's still relatively early. And even with the inflation and selling pressure, I think Avalanche is going to rocket ship very soon. And in terms of where I see it going this bull cycle, so if you put the full dilution in, it's roughly 30 billion. So a 10x would be freaking 300 billion, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't think it's going to be $400, but I do think it could be around $200 this cycle. It all depends on how much they dilute this supply, right? If it's a 15 billion market cap, a 10x would be 150 billion, which is possible. It'd be $400, and then roughly half of that, which is where I see it going, would be around a 75 billion market cap, which again, gaming, layer one, it's got room for growth. It's been growing. They got a lot of projects being built on it. A lot of eyes are slowly falling onto Avalanche. And I'll be willing to admit, last cycle when I was getting into crypto, I even forgot about Avalanche. Everybody was focused on Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano. And right now the focus is on Caspa, ICP, and these other cryptos. Avalanche is still going under the radar despite doing all this, which is why I think during this time for this year at this price, Avalanche is a steal that I think will be turning heads at the end of it when it's over. So I gave you guys 20 utility plays, some hedges, some low caps. Now let's go over some meme coins. I'll give you guys 5 to round this video out. For those degens who want some exposure to some, relatively lottery plays, you can't go heavy into these. Keep in mind, it's totally fine if you don't want to invest into any meme coins. Totally fine, but there is money to be made with them. They are the definition of high risk, high reward, and there is money to be made if you play your cards right and you use this approach, correctly. So I'm going to give you guys some meme coins that I'm holding and also a couple or a few that I'm not holding that I am bullish on. So the first one's going to be Turbo. Turbo is like your AI meme coin. It's not an AI coin per se, but it was made with ChatGPT, which is AI. The founder vested his, I think he was holding 9 or 13% of it. It's a pretty much fair launch crypto. If you go down top 100 rich list, it's very spread. The top 10 is pretty much all exchanges. It's a 40 million market cap. I bought this at 303. Right now it's 307. They did hint on Twitter and say exchange listings. I think they're getting on Binance soon, which I don't know when you're watching this. We'll see in due time where it goes. I think Turbo is going to really do well this cycle. It's actually my most bullish meme coin right now. Yes, you heard that here first. It is my most bullish meme coin. It's going to be involved with meme season, which is very bullish, but AI is very trendy. With 92% inflation, awesome tokenomics, 69 billion coin cap, very scarce compared to your other meme coins. I see no reason, especially with the catalyst of being on Coinbase soon, Binance, which I think is happening soon, not to mention Kraken, Gemini, Crypto.com. I think Turbo is going to be turning heads like crazy at the end of this cycle. And in terms of where I see it going, so it's a 45 million market cap. 100x from here is 45 billion, which surprisingly is doable. It's possible. And that would be, so 100x would be, what, 7 cents? If my math is correct. So I think it's 7 cents. Put an update here if it's wrong. So 7 cents for Turbo. Definitely can see it happen. I definitely think a penny is going to be broken at some point in the future anyway. And 100x on a meme coin would be a crazy fun ride. Next up, we got Bonk, one of my safer meme coins. It's Solana's main meme coin, their biggest meme coin. We got in 401, it's 402. It's 1.5 billion market cap. They have 65.2 trillion or 70% circulating supply. It's more scarce than Shiba Inu, more scarce than Dogecoin Mars. Even though it ran up a lot in the past year, this is the first bull cycle for it. It got launched, I believe, in Christmas of 2022. Let me see. Yeah, it was in Christmas 2022 as like a Christmas present to the team, whatever. It's on all the major exchanges. However, Bonk, I do believe and see it as a Shiba Inu for Solana. And when I look at the market cap, 1.5 billion, normally it turns away meme coin investors because it's too large. And I totally get that point of view because the risk of lottery coins and the risk of this large cap, it kind of turns you off from a safety standpoint. But if you look at it like I do as potentially the Shiba Inu of Solana, Shiba Inu last cycle went to around 80 billion. And I think Dogecoin went to 100 plus billion. So Bonk at 1.5 billion, if it gets anywhere close to those numbers, you're talking again to the moon rocket shit. I think at the very least Bonk can 25x from here, and I wouldn't be surprised if it has a blow off top in 40x or more in a cycle. And Solana's ecosystem is growing. This is exposure to Solana. And meme season is a real thing. And if you have a small amount of money to put into it, I think Bonk at this price, at this market cap, is definitely a good entry for some pretty crazy multipliers. Moving on, we got Avalanche's main meme coin, which I'm not going to say the name out of respect. It is COQNU, which, yes, is as stupid as it sounds. I think they should have changed the name, but nonetheless, it's exposure to Avalanche's ecosystem, just like Bonk to Solana. It's a 211 million market cap. They have full dilution, 69.4 trillion supply. This is the full dilution market cap. I think it's only a matter of time before it gets on a Coinbase or Binance because it's Avalanche's ecosystem. I do think, surprisingly enough, the name could hurt it with getting those listings sooner. But I do think as meme coin season evolves, these exchanges want to make money. And unfortunately, even though people don't use much logic in this space, emotions do run this market. And when it comes to meme coins, they make people a lot of money oftentimes and also lose money. But the reason why they're traded so much is because they're seen cheap, which they are. This is like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, 3. You can play around with it. It's better than like gambling at the freaking casino. And some people do make crazy gains. So again, if you don't want to invest into Avalanche per se, but you want some exposure with some lottery money, I think COQNU is definitely worth looking into. I do not have a position into this myself, but it is on my watch list. It's on Uphold. I don't know what else it's on, but I know it's not on Coinbase yet. And some of these cryptos, especially meme coins, do get those big exchange listings. Not all of them. It's not guaranteed, but this one is, I'm pretty sure it's fair launch too. I'm almost certain of that. I'll put it on my screen to confirm it if it is true. But when you're talking about a fair launch, meme coin for Avalanche, which is still in development mode, it's very hard to not be bullish on this crypto, which is why I'll probably be adding this to my portfolio relatively soon. So definitely worth looking into and add to your watch list for this year. Next up, we have WEN, which is not one pump, but actually a crypto. It's a meme coin on Solana's chain. Again, exposure to Solana. First bull cycle just came out January 2024. Also on Uphold, it's 172 million market cap, fully diluted. They have 100% of their 727 billion total supply. It's 30235. It has a chance, like every other meme coin, to be on a big exchange, which Uphold is definitely not a small exchange. It's not recognized by crypto enthusiasts to be an exchange, but it is pretty big. It's big in stocks, and they have a lot of good crypto on there. And if Solana keeps growing and developing, I wouldn't be surprised. Again, use lottery money if you're going to invest into this. Very risky if this one takes off. It has 31 million trading volume. A lot of people are buying this over utility plays, surprisingly enough. And with the 172 million market cap, this thing can easily 10x like that before altcoin season even takes place. If it gets on an exchange, a tier 1 soon, this thing's going to be over $1 billion, just like Pepe used to be, or Pepe is now. So 30235, if we're doing the math on this, I can see this crypto getting to around a 20 billion market cap. And in this case would be relatively at 12, 13x. Fresh new meme coin, pretty cheap, exposure to Solana, and already has full dilution, which will mitigate the selling pressure. And the last meme coin is going to be a larger cap, surprisingly enough, which is Shiba Inu. Another meme coin that I'm not holding, but is pretty bullish. It's a 16 billion market cap. It was the largest market cap Ethereum token last bull cycle. And I think actually still is. I don't think there's an Ethereum token right now that's 16 billion. It broke the top 10 last cycle when he took the stablecoins out. It was the only meme coin to do it alongside Dogecoin. The community is way too big to see this thing go like this. Yes, it's a meme coin. Yes, it has no utility, but the branding of it's very good. Shiba Inu. When you think of the main dog for meme coins, you think of two cryptos, in my opinion. Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, which this dog is used in so many pictures for different meme coins. So I think Shiba Inu, very controversial one to say, but I think it's a blue chip meme coin, which is funny to say that. It sounds just as funny in my head as it does, in words coming out. But Shiba Inu, it went to 409 last cycle. I think this cycle it's going over 100 billion. I think meme coins, although regulation will play a part in suppressing them, I don't think meme coins are going anywhere. And every single time meme coins have their run, Shiba Inu runs up when no one expects it. And Shiba Inu, I used to hold this a long time ago. I sold it. I still think it's a great play. I think, surprisingly enough, if you're having a meme coin portfolio, which I do, I have my main plays, my low caps, and my meme coins. I think Shiba Inu, this is funny again to say, is a hedge for your other meme coins. I think it's a great hedge for meme coins. And Shiba Inu, at this price, at this market cap, which is pretty much fully diluted, I think it can 5x from here at the very least, which I think is going to be minimum 301, and I wouldn't be surprised if it reaches 301315, which will be an insane gain from here, especially as a meme coin investor. Okay, so we have 25 cryptos, I believe. I apologize if that number's off. I tried giving you guys 20 well-rounded, versatile crypto, low cap to large cap, some hedges, and also some fun money lottery coins, meme coins. And I even gave you guys some cryptos that I'm not holding to give you guys some unbiased viewpoints as well. So this was a very long, draining video to make. I hope it helped you. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments down below, of course. If you want to see more videos like this also, let me know. But if you guys enjoy this, if you got some value from it, please leave a like. Really helps so much. And with that being said, now I want to hear from you. How many cryptos are you holding for this cycle? And what is your top 2 cryptos right now? Drop your comment down below and let me know. With that being said, I'm off to the gym. I'll see you guys in that next video.